Hi everybody!
Hi everyone, hope you're doing great.
So the title of this video is Guess What We're Talking About Tonight.
Yeah, any guesses, people?
5
You have
points.
any idea?
5 points to whoever can guess what we're talking about.
10 points. 100 points.
5.
5 points.
Stingy
Okay.
today, it's 5.
Yes. What have we been called now? All the names that we've been called.
What do you mean? I can't remember.
Just while we waiting for more people to come into the stream. There's 32 people in the stream now. Thanks to all of you that have joined us. Please like this video so more people can see it. We're going to be discussing some very interesting things. On the eve of
the dawn of our new democracy. Because everyone is going to vote and we're going to have 100% voter turnout. And that's going to displace everyone else. And then we're going to have a new government.
But welcome to all of you. I hope a lot more people join us. So please share this link so that we can talk about the more serious things that we need to consider before tomorrow. And, you know, for the first time, people can vote on 3 ballots and you can split your ballot like in the local government elections.
Boom, and then boom.
So I need to move in more. Did you move the camera? No, you did.
I plead innocence. Hi, Margot. Hi, Vivian and Marlene and everybody.
Welcome to all of you. Wow.
All the unusual suspects.
You're being very sarcastic.
No, that's a compliment. Unusual suspects.
We are unusual. We said earlier we're very unusual. We are unusual. So, yes, people in the mainstream normally don't know how to deal with us. It's because we have intellect.
Yep.
We can actually think things through, talk things through, and reason properly, something that's sorely lacking. A lot of people will not question things. They will just rephrase what other people say. And, you know, in this community of people, things are questioned over and over and over. And it might be frustrating, but that's what it takes to get someone to really buy into something, understand something, and then get behind something.
Megan Knipe is going to be standing barefoot on the grass at 2020.
I'm barefoot.
I'm barefoot too, but not in the grass, sadly.
We can, earlier, what number did you see? What time was it?
I can't remember what time it was.
18:18.
I saw 18:18.
Yes, it was 18.
I also saw 13:31 and 15:51. What does that mean, people? Those that know numbers.
Yeah, she said that things are changing.
I saw new numbers. 1331, 1551. I don't know what that means.
Anyway, it's interesting when that happens. Welcome to the over 100 people that have joined us. We're going to talk about interesting things.
Yeah.
Our topic is...
No one's guessed it yet.
Yeah, our topic is... What are we going to talk about tonight?
Obviously, we're talking about tomorrow.
Aloha, Peter. Welcome. Felix, Geraldine, Megan, Jean, Gary, hi, Black Swan, Carol, Paul. There's lots of new people that are commenting on the videos. I think a lot of the information that we share is fairly new to a lot of people. And you might have picked up or learned about us on social media, maybe on X, maybe on Instagram or wherever. This channel has been going for some time, and you will notice that we have over 50,000 subscribers, and a lot of people that see that that want to oppose us panic because they panic that so many people want to resist other people wanting to take their freedom away because they want to do it in the most benevolent looking way possible. That's always the case, isn't it?
Leeching off real problems to control populations.
So you create, it's a lockstep model where you create a problem, then you create the solution to the problem and drive people to actually fund the solution that ends their own freedom. It's something that the mainstream media would call, or the NASPAS funded or created media, they will call it conspiracy theory. However, we see it in real time happening around us. And what we do on this channel is we actually use them against themselves. So I will refer to News 24 and other media houses from NASPAS all the time. Their own words. I will use the words of people in these gang parties and that's most of them in Parliament. I won't call all of them gangs, but the majority of them behave like gangs. And a perfect example of that was the DA councillor Angus Mackenzie saying that the PA cannot come and should be kept out of Bonteheuwel, where he's a councillor. And we've met this guy, I've spoken to him many times in the past. And you will see the mayor of Cape Town, Jordan Lewis, and the premier of Cape Town going to him and supporting him in this, saying this is our turf. These people do not believe in democracy. They do not believe in freedom. They behave like a gang. Like this is their turf and they have a right to defend their turf. Okay. And they actually say that.
I don't want to waste the evening speaking about them.
No, that is me finishing up for the night.
Okay, thank you. There's a couple of questions or comments to cover.
Awesome.
In the comment section.
But welcome to all of you. We have almost 150 people watching.
Firstly, who asked, what's for supper and did we eat it with champagne?
Can't you see this stuff all over my shirt?
Guys, how do you get all the stains out of shirts? I bought a brand new, beautiful shirt. And then I came home from the airport wearing it. I ate some food that was oily. And then it, just the tiniest little oil drop. And I washed it immediately, but it's still there and I'm heartbroken. Boereseep. Okay, I'm going to try that. I have boereseep. Thanks to Ansia, who I don't know if she's in this chat, but I still have the boereseep. Boereseep, sorry.
But welcome to all of you. We have over 150 people watching now. And yeah, guess what? We will be discussing
supper,
tonight.
I had the most delicious tuna fish cakes with salad. It was amazing. And then we're not having champagne.
Lauren gave it 10 out of 10.
So what's for dinner, folks? That was dinner. And was it served with champagne? That's too preemptive. I don't know. I feel like...
What would you people see as a success tomorrow?
Yes. Put that in the comments. I want to give the diplomatic answer here and say that whatever we get is just a snapshot of where we're at as an organization. Because it is. That's exactly
what it is.
But of course, there is an internal hope that we perform some miracles here.
1331 growth.
Oil you have to iron out with some newspaper or any paper. I'm going to
60,000 votes. Wow. A seat where a braai made extra for election was awesome.
Marlene also, I saw some up there. She's kaput from all the preparations. I know the feeling. I think that's why I feel so pup as well. But there's still so much to do. What is a little bit upsetting is that
chops, braaibroodjies and salad. Margot, can we fly up there and join you?
Net, that's funny. Hi, Ruan. 2 seats in Parliament.
Wow. Net, that's
a lot of seats, Net.
The Freedom Front Plus did really well in the last last national elections. I think they were shocked. There were people that were candidates that did not expect they were going to Parliament. I could see their faces when they lined up in Parliament. You could see that their lives were literally turned upside down.
Oh, yeah.
Because they didn't expect to do that well.
It's true. It's hard to find candidates. And then if you get more seats than you expect, it's tough.
Jacques de Villiers' question.
Yes, I'm going to cover that now. I'll scroll up now and get it.
But welcome to all of you. Please stay with us. There's many important things we'll discuss before tomorrow. I'm very surprised how many people still don't know who to vote for. And I think it's a beautiful place where we are in our democracy. It's just a pity mainstream media refuse to cover them.
Let me know, people, if you want us to cover the provincial top parties. I have an Excel sheet and I have exactly who I would vote for if I was in your province. If you want us to cover that, let me know. There was some question I wanted to answer.
So Jacques, the one thing is he's not contesting provincially. So you won't find him on the provincial ballot.
I need to explain that again because I'm still getting barrages of questions about this every day. So the IEC is obviously not doing the voter education job. But I just want to cover this one thing.
I don't think they're getting to enough people. It's not that they're not trying.
Hi, Lynette. She's saying a lady in our street group went to vote, a special vote today, and only was given the national ballot paper and not the other two. She stood firm and was given all three. So I think it's very important that you know what your rights are at the
I did see an article heading to say that special voting off to a rocky start. I had people say that the voting station wasn't where it was before. It was physically changed. So that's problematic. And I shockingly found out today that a lot of the people that are working on the project at Kuburg, that's from other provinces, had no idea that they couldn't just go to any, for national elections, like in the past, to any voting station and actually cast their votes. They were shocked. So none of them can vote. None of them are registered to vote because they can't travel to Mpumalanga or wherever they're from to go and vote at their local voting station. So when I informed them today, you could see the absolute letdown in their faces. And it means that the government and the IEC is not reaching the majority of people. And I think there's going to be a shock turnout because of this. Not that people aren't going to the polls. They're not going to be registered. Especially the traveling workers are not going to be registered in the area, or they would not have applied for voting outside of their province.
It's a nightmare. It's going to be, so a lot of people saying like this is the most important election since 1994, but it's also a disaster because a whole lot of parties were excluded because of a stupid law.
Yeah.
And
that's not on the ballot.
Yeah, not just that. The situation in the past, and a lot of people don't know this because people don't know the difference between local elections and national elections. In the past, during national elections, technically, you should be able to go fly in a plane and vote in Joburg, even though you're from Cape Town, technically speaking.
That way before.
That was accommodated before. For the first time ever in national elections specifically, that is no longer allowed. In the past, to vote on the provincial ballots, you have to vote in the province you're from. That was the only limitation. But you could vote nationally anywhere. Now that's not the case. And so many people do not know this and have very delicate work situations and won't be voting tomorrow. And I think that's a huge tragedy. So the freeness and fairness of the elections are definitely the most debatable they have ever been.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of questions. While you were talking, I just saw question. So, I want you to just cover, what did I say? The ballots. What are you voting for, guys? When it comes to the ballots you're given, there's 3 ballot papers. There is the provincial ballot for provincial government. Do you know that there are 3 spheres of government? Local, otherwise known as municipal elections. Then there's province. Then there's national. Would you like to say something?
Yes, speed it up.
No. No, people need to listen carefully, in the words of Jacob Zuma.
Okay, they're all going to leave.
Listen properly. So there's 3 spheres of government: local, provincial, and national. We are now, this year in 2024, voting for provincial and national. You're getting 3 ballots because national has been divided into 2, but it's still at national government level. That's why they call it regional, and then national, both are for National Assembly. So we are not on the provincial ballot because we don't want provincial government. So just realize that when you're voting regional, you're still voting for a seat in National Assembly.
So there's 200 seats for the proportional National Assembly, and then there's 200 seats for independent candidates or parties within the 9 regions, which are basically the 9 provinces. And then there's the actual provincial ballot vote, which is a pink ballot. OMI's not on that ballot. OMI's on both other ballots everywhere in the country. Everywhere. Because people are still asking me today, who is your representative there? Who am I voting for?
You're not voting for.
You're not voting for.
We're in the system now. So Jacques also asking, what's the regional then? Parliament, 400 seats, a new electoral act that allows independence. So half the seats are for independents and parties, and the other half of the seats are only for parties.
Which is unfair. But this is what we were handed. Yes, because of the Concord case, you shouldn't use the law to get the people that are in the wrong to try and fix the problem, because they made it exponentially worse.
Cindy's asking, what about local? Local elections were in 2021, and they will be again in 2026. Then national elections every 5 years, 2019, 2024, 2029 again.
So 2029, I believe, will be the watershed elections in the country's history.
According to OM's plan, you'll vote at the same time for all spheres of government.
Yeah,
so not to confuse people.
You'll have 4 ballots, one for the president, one for your MP, representing its constituency, 400 constituencies in the country, one for the mayor in your municipality, and one for your councillor.
Okay, let me cover Jacques' question. Just hello to Ernest, Zanele, and Peter. and WJK. And then we got someone new saying they're going to vote for us. Where was it now?
Naidu, go and look at the detailed manifesto, not the small manifesto.
Yeah. Vic says, Ome is my vote. Thank you so much, Vic.
Thanks so much.
And Hendrik JP De Beer says, Extem more for Jella. Dankie.
Dankie, Hendrik.
So let's get on with Jacques' question. I didn't understand your question, Jacques. I'm considering voting for Ome, but I need to know your fundamental belief and foundation. Do you support or reject traditionalism? I can answer the first part of that question, but what do you mean traditionalism?
Yeah, please.
Traditionalism in what way?
I can't answer these because I'm not a politician. Traditionalism. Oh my word, Lauren.
It's not case sensitive, luckily. Upholding or maintaining tradition. Tradition? What kind of tradition? I can, you know what
to
it
hang
says
people in trees
in
or
the
what?
Bible. Jesus Christ says we must reject the traditions of men and follow a higher way. I'm paraphrasing because it's different from different versions of the Bible. So I'm not sure what you mean. All the things, the past that got us into, oh, you clearly knew. No, we are the resistance designed to resist global control and government control. So what we're doing we have 6 principles: liberty, protection of life, a respect for the earth, self-reliance, continuous progress, and national unity. Though that's the foundation upon which we have built this organization. Individual liberty coming number 1, of course, because what are we if we are not free beings?
Very good question from Zain Biswick.
So we reject the systems that have governed our society in colonial ways that have oppressed South Africa. We hate the fact that other countries have become superpowers because of our mineral wealth. And we want to change that. We want to create national sovereignty for our country.
Yeah, and that's why will not latch onto the multi-party charter or anything
Zane,
like that.
hi Zane. Has impressed me from the start. Would very much like you guys in Parliament. However, would you be latching onto multi-party? No. We have stated this many times on public platforms. We will not form coalitions at all, and don't believe in this multi-party charter thing. That was a very clever tactic by a certain party. I don't fall for such nonsense. We will vote on bills. Should we get a seat in Parliament? A bill comes along, and now
do that again.
A bill comes along.
But the higher, so everyone can see.
A bill comes along.
Okay, that's awesome.
And then we have to say yay or nay. And if it goes against our 6 principles, it's a no. I believe that most laws should be thrown out. We should have less laws that are effective.
But a lot of people don't know Ome's values and principles.
I just went through them. Were you not listening?
Just put the website there, then everyone can.
They're not on the website.
They are.
They're not.
Remember, take them off.
I didn't take them off. I redesigned the website. And I forgot to add them.
What?
This is what happens.
But isn't it in the manifesto?
This is what happens when you work for yourself. It's in the manifesto,
isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, so there we go. So
hi, Glamarine, Patrick.
So just tell everyone that is funded by the people in this chat. I mean, by the public.
You guys are freedom fighters. We do believe in freedom a lot. Zane has a question too.
Bill Gates, yes. Yeah. That's a good one. That's a very good one. Absolutely. So, I mean, Ome being the resistance, why am I Ome supporter? I'm not an Ome member, even although I'm Lauren's husband. I'm banished from being an Ome member. I support the Ome plan. You should not even support Lauren. You should support the plan. The plan is the best plan I've seen. Now, any plan can be improved. What the plan does is it creates a new system where you can put the best people forward, and better people will put themselves forward in that system. In the current system, you need to be a gangster. So it takes a lot. And a lot of people have said, will you actually handle this lot? You know, because you're fighting it within the system. Maybe that's something you can talk about. See, to Lauren's not even an issue. She's tougher than most of the oaks in Parliament.
In your opinion, do you think we stand a chance to get a seat? Statistically, mathematically, and looking at past parties and their journeys, no. Because we didn't get mainstream media coverage?
None.
No.
So if mainstream media covered and you need to talk about that, the fact that the mainstream media refused to cover
Yeah, they refused.
Refused, like literally.
Even a journalist, and because I don't want to get him into trouble, I'm not going to mention names, was so excited to invite me to a political debate. He says it's happening. He gave me a date. I almost booked my flights. And next minute, when I want to finalize the details, it completely ignored me. Didn't answer the phone, did not answer my messages, left me on blue tick. So I think what happened is that his boss, or whoever he answers to, was like, not happening. And then our members, of course, have gone to the ends of the earth to contact mainstream media to say, please cover OM, XYZ. What happened with the morning show on SABC with Leanne Manis, very fascinating. They literally interviewed every single national party.
Everyone else,
except the organic humanity movement. So they clearly have an agenda against system change, because even like BOSA might be asking for independent representation, but they're still playing into the mainstream narrative. They're still sellouts. So they don't want to hear this
and
message.
they're getting Oppenheimer funding.
I think that once the general South African population hears about system change, they will be like, obviously, it's a no-brainer. And I think mainstream media, which is just a tool of the state, which is just a tool of the global oligarchs, will be shivering in their boots the moment mainstream public hear about our plan.
There's one thing that's important to understand is we don't know post the COVID pandemic how that has influenced people and how important freedom are to them. Because, I mean, this platform grew to over 50,000 people, or over 40,000 people in that period, and grew slowly post the lockdown shutting down. In other words, it wasn't that important to people anymore. And I said that's exactly what would happen. And the other thing that I stuck to is we stuck to our principles and values. And a lot of people might not agree with that and would leave. If you say anything against how they feel or whatever, people would run off in a huff. And the one thing you need to understand is OM's values and principles have not changed. They are set and cast in stone, and they are based on biblical principles that Jesus taught. It's simple things. It's not rocket science, and all religions can ascribe to them. All of them. I don't care who you are, whether you are an atheist, you can ascribe to those values and principles.
Anyone, yeah.
Yeah, anyone. Love, knowledge, justice, action is the most basic part of humanity. It's what makes us civil, isn't it? If there's no justice, there is no civility. If there's no love that precedes the justice, there is no civility. There's barbarism. So all these things need to work together, and then the principles too.
Listen to this. I have to disagree, but people are entitled to their opinion. Someone I spoke to about OM said it was very difficult to get information on OM compared to other parties when they Googled. If you look at OM's website, it has quite a lot of information.
A lot of people said it's the most they've ever seen.
Compared to other parties.
Even journalists said that they were surprised how open OM is to everything that they are doing.
But I do agree that there could be more on the website. And we're going to work on that. We're going to put it all out there in future. Morality and ethics needs to be separated 100%. I actually want to address the elephant in the room. There's a couple of questions that have been asked of me every day on so many platforms since the beginning of this campaign season. And this is all to do with religious dogma in government. I don't know how else to describe it.
I like what Jacques is saying.
So I don't understand. I became a Christian later in life. The way I see it is that I will be judged for my actions. I have not got the responsibility to mete out godly judgment on other people. And government hasn't either. But I will be judged. You will be judged. But we can't force our interpretation of biblical concepts on an entire population through the state. Why do so many people want this?
That turns you into not only a dictatorship, but interpretively, you can become really evil, draconian,
Murderous even.
many things. And this has happened throughout history. So we're seeing this repeat itself in history, where people want to take their beliefs, their understanding and an interpretation of beliefs, use a government structure with control, a military and police, and then enforce that on other people instead of teaching good principles, espousing good values, because that is what Jesus did. And this is not a religious thing. I'm talking about Jesus as an individual, as a person, showing and setting an example of being around sinners when the religious people scoffed and scorned him. He was a rebel of his time, and he went against all of those dogmas that humans created. So people have been conned and fooled by preachers and many others. But yeah,
So there's comparative grids and charts going around made by various, I suppose, churches, and they are approaching the criteria from the wrong perspective. They are not approaching the criteria from the perspective of individual liberty first. And you should be running a mile from such organizations that want to micromanage how you live your life. They want to make sin illegal. That's not a godly way to do government at all.
we should be free so that we can be judged. If you're a Christian, you should see it as satanic to take people's freedom to choose away, because what it is subverting judgment. And yeah, I think that's all I want to say.
Yeah, but anyway, that's probably one of the most common questions I get from lots of voters. I suppose it's
But OMA hasn't got policies. OMA has values and principles.
Yeah, we have plans. Yeah. We have plans. We have, I suppose, the same kind of people that bought the whole fear tactics during the lockdown are the same kind of people that want that
control,
might and power in government. And I think it's very scary because, like I've said before, a dictator is still a dictator, even if you believe in their opinions. And we don't want to be dictated to. We want freedom. We also want society to improve, but society will not improve if government is always forcing its will on the people. And it's the same with parenting. Governing and parenting is not different. The most overprotective parents result in the naughtiest, most rebellious children most of the time. So I believe if government gives society space to balance itself out and fix itself out within guidelines, then we will see humanity here in South Africa progress.
Yeah, AJ makes a very good point here. Yes. When someone asked about a specific party and they said, what about animal rights? And they said, don't worry, it will be biblical. There are thousands of different churches that interpret the Bible differently in this country. I want to stay far away from those people if they are going to take my freedom away in how I should handle something. What if they decide there should be no pigs because this person believes that pigs are bad? And that is our interpretation of the Bible. All pigs should be slaughtered.
Imagine someone has a dream.
And it's one of the cheapest meats on the market. I'm just using an example. But this isn't crazy. I mean, I have heard people in the past, especially in the time I was in intelligence, that said, no, we should kill all pigs. There should be no pigs in the country. And these aren't Muslims or Jewish people. So, yeah, let me tell you, I have experienced the most extreme group of people that want to blow up dams, blow up nuclear power stations, and all sorts of things to make what they believe is prophecy come true. These people are nutcases. And underneath many of the political parties, they are just under the surface. Make no mistake. And they want to dictate to others how to do things. I put out a tweet on X earlier today where I said that with level 5 lockdown, even the parties that claim to be free even have the name freedom in their names, okay? Or the word freedom in their names. When Cyril's announced level 5 lockdown, they all kept quiet. All of them. The whole bang shoot. And you need to ask yourself, why did they keep quiet? Why were they so happy to take your freedom away? Why were they happy to stop you from going and surfing? Remember how the police were running up and down the beach wanting to arrest a surfer?
Now,
come on, man.
The local government has invested in so many drones.
And cameras. Oh, my word. They are preparing for that next lockdown.
They're waiting. They're salivating.
Absolutely.
They're
They
drooling.
can't wait. And we need to have enough people then to say no. This stops now.
We all need to take up pigeon clay shooting, as one of our members said.
So, people, this is serious. So tomorrow, when you go and vote, speak to people around you, your family and so on, and ask them, how important is freedom to you? If freedom isn't important to you, go vote for anyone else. If freedom is important to you, then only own or any party that says that they will never take your freedom away, you can support. And ask them, what will you do in another pandemic? Will you lock us down? The ACDP said nothing. And I'm not attacking them as a party. I'm stating a fact. The moment the vaccine mandates came in, then they started objecting and speaking out against it. What about the freedom part? The other thing is, how many parties speak about freedom in their manifestos? Freedom.
But even so, it mustn't just be in the manifesto. It must be part of the daily speech.
Daily speak. Freedom. We want people to be free.
We have some questions again.
Let's go for it.
And some funny comments too.
But welcome to all of you. It's a really a large group of people in this live stream. Thanks for joining us.
Someone asked us, are we on the Provincial? But now I can't find it.
Okay. Yeah.
3 ballots. National, regional, provincial. No, we're not on the Provincial. We are national and we are on regional. But I can't find the comment now.
So I wants to do away with the provincial government.
Yes, I like this 1 of 44 comment here. All I want from government is to be left alone. We agree.
That's it. I actually love when Gareth Cliff said, I actually don't mind a ruling party that is messed up.
Yeah.
Because I feel more free that way.
Agreed.
I'd rather have that than a party that does an excellent job but takes all my freedom away. And, you know, how many social media influencers have now gotten behind what OM is saying? I mean, they might not believe that OM will be big enough to govern right now or even get a seat in parliament, but they are speaking with OM. So you have Gareth Cliff that agrees with OM's principles. You have Dan Corder that says that we should elect our leaders directly. You have Peñol that is openly speaking about OM's values and principles. And I think many of those things he was espousing already. And after speaking to Lauren, he's been tweeting these things all the time. Get rid of provincial government, elect our leaders directly. So these social media influencers are running with us. Farial Haffiji, that wrote for Daily Maverick, she says, this is great, this is great, this is great. An awesome opinion piece. Well, not just an opinion piece, but her take on OM. And they put it out 3 times.
It's really cool.
Which is really awesome.
Anyway, our work will continue after the elections.
Yeah.
Except I'm taking time off for 2 weeks. I still have to do our audit in June. 30th of June is the deadline.
Shame.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so just so that everyone knows, I mean, I can tell you it's a very stressful time for Lauren. It's a mess, and it's going to be worse this time, eh?
I hate doing finances. It's going to be way worse because this is the most money we've ever
had.
Yes,
but at the moment, I mean, the 100,000 Rand limit was actually done away with when Cyril now changed everything.
I can't deal with that confusion.
He now has to declare it.
I'm just going to do it like I've done it before.
Yeah, before. So it's fully compliant.
Well, we have been since the law, yeah. So Felix actually said we should consider laying out on the website the detailed funding OM receives. I have considered that actually, and I'll probably will do that, but I'll just block out everyone's names to protect their identities. But people will be able to see on what dates, how much was received. Hello to Cousin Greg. Jane said, please say hi to Cousin Greg. Hi, Cuz. There was another question. Wayne, Wayne, please indicate, 3-way communication, please indicate in the chat that you now understand which ballots OM is on, that we are not on the provincial, but we are on national.
National and
regional.
Which is different this time. So the regional ballot didn't exist before.
Who started the rumor that we have to wear masks tomorrow? That was hilarious when I read that.
It's not a rumor, actually.
It might be. Quintessential organic. I heard ANC's
No,
out.
no, I also
No, but
saw that.
pause. I hate that statement. I heard that. Who told you? How did they hear it? Did they see it firsthand? What are their intentions? What were the exact words? Give specifics and context. Where
Yeah.
did they say that? What time did they say that? Give the details.
So, yes. So, if that would happen, the country will burn tomorrow. It's that simple. Okay. So, no person in their right mind would ever let something like that happen.
Yes. Is on the blue and orange.
Yeah. So, the pink for provincial is not on that ballot.
Cool by the pool. What's next? I agree, Jacques.
Yeah, Jacques, you're absolutely right. The thing is, is funded from the ground by ordinary people. So there's no large donors to
One thing, if we do get a seat, we'll start to get yearly funding, and then I'll absolutely hire a national administrator.
Yeah, but which wants to do away with.
Yeah, but then it's away with everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't wait for that.
Because at the moment, the playing field is not fair. A lot of people actually argue and don't understand that the current parties in parliament get millions in taxpayers' funding. Like Tony Leon said, they've made it impossible for a new party to actually make it into parliament.
Tony Leon's right, sadly. Ian McMillan says someone said they're supposed to stamp your ballots in front of you. No, your ballot must be stamped at the back. They're not stamping it in front of you. Well done, says Sydney. Thank you for that. Okay, let's cover the provincial quickly.
Yeah, more than one says vote strategically provincially. So we've decided to independently, we actually spoke this morning because we haven't spoken about it before, that we're going to vote for the National Coloured Congress in the Western Cape. I don't think they're provincially available anywhere else.
I have a spreadsheet.
You have a spreadsheet? Okay, you go for it.
The entire OM is a spreadsheet. It's scary.
So please don't go and follow what we're doing, but there's a reason why we decided that. Welcome to the over 300 people watching. This is one of the largest live streams in the country at the moment. Well done to all of you for joining us. Thanks.
Please like the live stream.
Please like, yes, so that we can get more people to watch and come into the stream. But this is, for those of you that have joined, these elections are super important. It's the first elections that we're having post the COVID pandemic. And the people that love freedom, that want to remain free, can I just finish this point? Need to understand that if you want freedom, you cannot vote for the same parties that said nothing last time when Cyril Ramaphosa announced a level 5 lockdown and destroyed people's lives, businesses, schools, everything, destroyed it. And you weren't given an option, a choice at all. There's a difference between a government recommending something and a government forcing something on you. That comes from an outside body we didn't elect. We didn't elect the World Health Organization. Okay, what did you find so funny? We'll never lock you down, okay? Not a chance.
We'll throw a party.
Yeah, Lauren will throw a party. There is someone that said that there's flu going around.
Yeah. Sama said it's because of flu. What? Sama. Where is it? I lost it.
South African Medical Association.
Is that what it stands for?
I don't know.
I thought it was like some music award.
Release a statement.
I can't find it now. Maybe they retracted it. But they were like, they said due to flu season. In other words, otherwise known as winter.
Winter, yes.
Winter.
You now need to social distance and wear masks. I can't wait to see how many people actually do this tomorrow.
Can't wait.
It's going to be unbelievable.
It's going to be fascinating. You can know who they're going to vote for, pretty much.
Anyway. Yeah, Vic, definitely mainstream media is very scared of OM's plan. And obviously, News 24 put an opinion piece of someone that was on some kind of, I don't know, very, very animated good stuff with regards to OM. She was like Alice in Wonderland. That's all News 24 could muster. And I actually asked him, can you write a proper opinion piece? Actually, look at OM's manifesto. They only put the Oppenheimer funded and otherwise funded parties on their manifesto list. Only those were put there. So you need to ask yourself why. Because Naspers comes from the same cabal. It's that simple.
There's so many comments. It's just going up. Eugene says, please do away with the 350 grant. I mean, we don't believe in a welfare state. People will always be disempowered as long as the government is giving away freebies. So what we want to do...
It's not about doing away with that.
Transition away.
Yes, absolutely.
And make sure people have access to land ownership, because that is the gateway to wealth building. So absolutely agree with you.
And you don't
a lot
have
of
to
people
take anything from anyone or steal anything from anyone.
A lot of people, but there's so many comments. It's just so much. I mean, there
Why
were so many things I wanted to
so
comment.
Important?
Why is, Chris says, I think this is just more rhetorical. Why is freedom so important? Does it mean that life is not predetermined and that we can change our destiny? Is it that when freedom is removed, destiny is enforced and humanity is thus removed too? No, when freedom is removed, destiny can't take place.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as destined slavery.
No.
Imagine what an insult that is to previous generations.
That is big subversion.
Yeah.
That has been preached in many churches, which is absolute nonsense.
I don't think the mortal finite mind can comprehend predetermination or destiny. We are here on earth. As long as we have some semblance of a mind, we should be fighting for our free will to be protected.
Yeah, Jacques, you're absolutely right. We can't blame Cyril. We can question why he towed the line. It's not just him. It's a much bigger organization. Cyril made choices in his life. And, you know, he was a project of Harry Oppenheimer. Harry Oppenheimer took him under his wing when Cyril was very young. He needed money. He gave him shares in Anglo-American. A lot of people don't understand this information very well. But Cyril was always earmarked to bring about the New World Order in South Africa, and it's not working out very well for them. I mean, they're struggling in this country, and Jacob Zuma put a big spanner in their works. Make no difference.
Thank goodness for that. Here's another question. I believe politicians should live in fear, so voting for them irritates me to the core. That's interesting. I mean, I do believe government should fear the people. Absolutely.
Pencils are used to make your mark.
Pencils are used to make your mark.
You are allowed to take your own pen with. Go to the IEC's website. They will dispel all the rumors and nonsense out there. And, you know, people are putting fake news out left, right, and center. One thing I need to tell people, even if you find ballots in the bush before voting day, thousands marked with ANC on it, it means nothing for election day, because you can't bring that into the VD where the votes has to be counted. There's people standing there. They have their boxes that start at the beginning of the day. The boxes are sealed. Those boxes are then opened. When they are opened, they are checked by people, handed to the next person that's going to vote, and the observers can check them, see that it's a clean ballot. That then goes into another sealed box that they observe. They check before, and the boxes are empty. Then they are sealed in front of everyone. People, the process is rock solid. So all of these things where they burst into a distribution center, which is like a courier reception area where they send things out, the machines and the ballots and whatnot, they are making stories where there are no stories to be made. Really. It's a problem. If someone can bring me something where everyone at the station, where all the observers have colluded to do something wrong, the whole lot, including all the parties there, colluding with each other, it makes no sense. They are contesting each other. So, yeah, I haven't seen anything that can cause problems with the process. And the other thing is, all the parties that have the observers at a voting station knows the results before it goes to the National Results Center. So they can tally it, verify it. No problem.
I want you to cover another question. Okay, let's cover. I think it instills a mindset that will keep the very people in slavery, a form of slavery forever. Someone asked about media, and is there legislation to force media to cover things properly? No. So when we change the system, then we will have to make sure that in legislation somewhere, that during election years, only during election years, all media has to equally cover every candidate that's accepted on the ballot. So if one candidate gets 5 minutes, so must the next. Right now, it doesn't work that way.
The media is actually affecting the outcome of the elections.
They are influencing public thought.
Yeah.
They're not reporting on reality. They're influencing
No.
public thought.
They're not reporters. They're actually opinion creators. That's what they are. So I wouldn't call them media.
That's very frustrating. It's so annoying. But I want to quickly, there's been a couple of people asking now.
About?
Provincial, who to vote for. So some people are even saying, should we even vote provincially? You know, you're at the ballot. You might as well. I wouldn't waste an opportunity. So I'm voting provincially.
Is there anything else that we can cover now that is more important than this? Voting for another party provincially.
Media are mind benders. So use YouTube. We do use YouTube.
We do use other platforms. Here's the problem. On social media, you can actually predict how many people will activate from that. And typically, if you're lucky, you can get 10% activated. Like this channel's got 50,000 subscribers, you might activate 10% of the channel, which is 5,000 people. That's it. If you're lucky.
Anton's asking, and you and me have differing opinions here. And I want to, before you shout your answer, I just want to relay a thought there. Would you hold the elites of South Africa, the previous leaders, and all those who took freedoms away and committed crimes against humanity accountable by the military for treason? And it just makes me think of the Hunger Games when I can't remember her name, the lady in the grey suit that was going to take over.
The leader of the resistance.
The leader of the resistance, the subverted leader of resistance that was going to take over from Snow. How she let the crowd literally eat Snow alive. And then also her goal was obviously to kill him. Kill him, but Katniss was like, let me do it. I want to do it because it's only right. And then Katniss luckily was awake and killed her instead. I really despise a bloodthirsty nation. I despise bloodthirsty people. And
there's a difference between killing someone,
and
putting them on trial
by the military for treason. That's a big. But to me, it plays into the same mindset of people that want the death penalty and all the rest. So I do think we need to focus on the positive, be constructive, because the energy you put out there into the universe does come back to you. And so we can do things and create systems and frameworks within our country to prevent tyranny from ever taking root again. And that's what we should focus on, number one.
Okay, so what would that look like?
Many things.
Examples.
I felt like I had a goal for the last 4 years. What is the next goal? What do you mean by that, AJ? I do believe applying the sustainable development goals that fit your country's needs and educating the uneducated by confirming to a UN system. No. Where did you read that, Yvette? That sounds disturbing.
The UN Sustainable Development Goals are basically creating human prisons. So it's anti-humanity. The people just haven't figured it out yet. And there's many reasons why we understand that this is what's happening through evidence. We can see the evidence on the ground.
Okay, interesting. But we can cover other people's manifestos another time. Margaret says good night. She's probably gone already. And did I miss anything else?
I do believe that people need to be held accountable, especially people that were political leaders that took people's freedom away. In other words, the freedom of association, movement, belief, being able to go to church, being able to drive around, run their business, practice their hobbies. I believe they need to be put on trial. I'm not saying what should happen to them. I don't believe in the death penalty or anything like that. But you can find someone guilty of treason against the country, okay? And there can be sanctions against them for that. They might not be allowed to ever take part in politics again or many other things. Do you understand? It doesn't have to be bloodthirsty.
No, it doesn't.
But the justice is important. Super important.
Very. Peter says, don't forget to bring your green barcoded ID. Thank you. I actually need reminders like that. Or smart card or valid temporary identity certificate on voting day. Does anyone not leave the house without their ID book? Because I always do.
I leave my ID in my wallet, so it's always with me.
Mr. Responsible.
Yes, Mr. Responsible.
Absolutely. Okay. So,
but thanks to all of you for joining us. It's late now, so I
10
think
minutes
most
to
people
go.
want to go to
10 minutes to
bed.
go. There's so much I still want to do on Facebook and other things. It's been a fun, busy. How many months? Since February, really. Actually, since December, but more so since February.
It was all about signatures first. Parties weren't given time to campaign properly. Many parties are not on the ballot because what was imposed on them is just unfair. That's wrong. It's not democracy. And I want to create a system where we are more democratic, where people can be held more accountable. And I think this is resonating with many people. People are still getting stuck on organic humanity movement, thinking it's a hippie movement.
And when is organic and vegan synonymous? Really, please.
Organic humanity. Especially in line with the fourth industrial revolution, where people want to integrate AI with human minds.
I know. Anyway, it's an education process. Silent Chakami says topical questions for political parties. 1, borders. 2, energy resource plan. 3, crime. 4, education. 5, nationalization. BBBEEE or equality, and 6, health policy, especially the NHI bill. Hi, Silent. Well, I think all of those that you mentioned are very important, but they are secondary to any party's position on individual liberty. That comes
and
first.
Nobody's talking about that. That's OM's first principle is liberty, the right to make choices, live with the consequences of those choices, have the right to make the mistake, to do the wrong thing, and then live with the consequences. Because in a civil society, there is consequences when you hurt someone else or do something bad to someone else. Society dictates what that is. And then parliament or government, if you elect your representatives, they come up with laws to give voice to that. And I think we can do away with most laws are written for business, isn't it?
Business interests.
Yeah, not for humanity.
I think you guys need to remember that 90% of parliament is controlled by the top 3 parties, and they have very similar funders, same and overlapping funders. So there is an illusion of opposition in parliament right now. And hopefully everyone here votes OM and encourages everyone else to do the same, because we will be the voice for freedom and system change. And all of that for the progress of humanity. No one actually, none of the parties have a long-term vision for South Africa and all of its people. They're just about
fixing
shallow problems. But we have a vision. The Organic Humanity Movement has a vision for humanity to progress, because I have the personal belief that all the industrial revolutions, first, second, third, and fourth, I believe we could have taken a different path, and we chose the industrial path. I mean, as a collective humanity.
It was created for us.
And I believe that there could have been another way to advance without industrial revolution. But here we are now, and we find ourselves systems that are stopping us from living our full potential. It's a huge problem.
People at forefront are busy with the fifth industrial revolution.
Lovely.
Yeah. So, I mean, 4IR is already in progress. The Klaus Schwab plan is being implemented. He's a member of the Committee of 300. That's actually the world shadow government. And this is where most people out when I say things like 24. And he gave me intricate details where he could tell me about the COVID pandemic coming in the future. He gave me details about it. They discussed it in 1984. He told me about it in 2004, 20 years later. It then happened 16 years later. But the details were meticulous. How could he know all of those things? And that info was given to intelligence. So they knew everything. Everything. It's not that they didn't know. So people, if COVID didn't happen, all of these things we speak of, we wouldn't even be bothered with, because it would just be some random rumor some madman came up with.
Okay, so who asked the question? So Eugene asked, can I debate? What is freedom? when a lot of people can't even enjoy the benefits of freedom.
That is absolutely, it's not something to debate. It is literally something that you have to give onus to. To have maximum freedom, people need to behave a certain way. If everyone theoretically behaved a certain way, no government would be necessary. But throughout human history, people have not behaved that way. I believe the teachings of Jesus, if everyone would follow those teachings, you could have that reality. But I can tell you that will never happen. I can't see in this current world that we live in where people want to gain above someone else that you could fulfill that. It's not possible. So, people speak about capitalism, and it's great that you have an open market where people are allowed to compete with each other. That's super important. If you want to compete at the expense of someone else, that is where the problem comes in. When you have success and you don't want other people to have success, when you have the downtrodden, all of those similes that were used, um, that is very literally seen all over society.
But not just that, Eugene. I feel like the fact that so many people live in poverty is one of the reasons I wanted to make a difference in politics. And I saw how ineffective it was in the current political system. So staying in the political system that we're in now is not going to help the matter. If we deindustrialize and decolonize all the systems that govern society, the education system, the political system, the healthcare system, the justice system, and the legal system, when that gets transformed and liberated, then the people you speak about who are not enjoying the benefits of freedom will now have the opportunity to do so. Until we are stuck in this crazy paradigm that is our reality, the status quo will remain. So system change is the answer. It's the gateway to people having a better life, because that's all I want. I want everyone to be prosperous. Why can't everyone make more money and live a better life? They can. So we need to give people the tools to do so and make sure that the systems are not oppressive like they have been. And it's been like that on purpose. The liberation of our country was a fake liberation, if you look at who was really pulling the strings behind the scenes. And that has continued up until today, where South Africa is just oppressed, and it suits those that benefit from the country for the majority of the population to be in poverty.
So the very companies that benefited from the Anglo-Boer War, Anglo-American, if you look at these companies in the history, they are the people funding these parties in parliament to this very day, the Oppenheimers. If you look at the Oppenheimers' history, Amschel Rothschild, who created this fiat currency system, the reserve bank system, and everything else that we have today, and his sons, I mean, they created the Rothschild dynasty. He learned his trade in an Oppenheimer bank. I can go through that history until...
There's a video, but
Yeah.
yes, Jean says, Odette, you could choose what Lauren and Des have, ACC. It's not ACC, it is NCC.
Yeah.
I don't know where Odette's comment is. Why can't I see it? Odette, Jean, if I were in Gauteng, I totally would. Okay, Odette, Jean, Dixon, Cape Town. Okay, I missed another Odette. What? Okay. Thanks, Kim Hoskin. I'm voting Ohm and have been speaking about this to everyone.
Yeah,
So,
thanks so
Odette,
much.
if you're in... Can I quickly just go through the list of...
Yeah, do that quickly.
Are you confused who to vote for? Provincially. I brought a list. You might not agree with my third option.
It doesn't matter.
But basically, I looked at... It was so hard. People, I don't know how you're going to vote. Eastern Cape was probably one of the hardest, in the Northern Cape. You basically have to choose the least worst.
Yeah.
And my considerations, who funds them? Are they currently represented? Are they part of any coalition talks? Those were my considerations. I had to compromise my own values to come up with an option for each province. So let me make that clear, that me stating the names of these parties is not my support for them. It is the least worst option under the circumstances. It is so frustrating. It makes me realize the greatness and potential of Ohm itself. But that being said, there's still a provincial ballot that needs to get a tick or something. Eastern Cape, BOSA. That was a difficult one for me
Because of the funder.
because of the funder.
Oh, goodness.
Please switch
The
that off.
battery.
Oh, you can't switch that off. Switch it off. Because the other light will work, right? No.
Did you switch that off? I cannot believe
I do nothing back there.
Did you unplug this?
Patience, people, we have a crisis. Oh, Sif, I'll answer that now. I just want to go through these 9 provinces quickly. We do have a opinion there, which I'd love to declare. So let me just go through the 9 provinces. Now the beeping is stopping. It was frustrating, but Eastern Cape is Bosa. Western Cape, after much deliberation, I narrowed it down to People's Movement for Change, but there are too many like woke statements on their website. And then it was narrowed down after that to National Colored Congress, but it's CCC. The abbreviation is CCC. If you're in the Northern Cape, Bosa again. If you're in the Free State, in Limpopo, in Northwest, or in Gauteng. So I'll say that again. Free State, Limpopo, Northwest, Gauteng. It's Forum for Service Delivery. Why? Forum for Service Delivery believes in voting directly for the president. They believe in strengthening the borders. They believe in democratic principles. They also believe in non-violence. So there's 4 points that we resonate with greatly. So Forum for Service Delivery is perfect. Jean, it's both. They changed their name to National Colored Congress, but the abbreviation is CCC. And then KZN and Mpumalanga, Economic Liberators Forum South Africa. For KZN and Mpumalanga, there's not a lot of information on their website. They are also very, very, very new, so they haven't got a lot of members. But from what I've been hearing directly from their people, they do want the system to change. They want to create economic alternatives, like parallel economies. And the most important is that they believe in doing away with their welfare system by empowering people through education. And I think that's a very powerful message. Will they deliver on that? I absolutely hope so. So let me quickly.
Because they could be the Cape, the CCC on the ballot.
No, they are National Colored Congress. Their name, their abbreviation is CCC. I just said that earlier.
Okay.
So let's go through it again. Eastern Cape and Northern Cape, Bosa. Western Cape, NCC, which is CCC. Free State, Limpopo, Northwest, Gauteng, Forum for Service Delivery, KZN, and Mpumalanga, Economic Liberators Forum South Africa. That's who I would vote for if I was stuck in your little cubicles at your voting stations. So it was hard. It was tough. No one ticked all my criteria boxes, but it is what it is. I had to, especially with Bosa, compromise one of my biggest filters. Luckily, they were not part of the Moonshot Pact, and that's why I went with them instead of other options. So, yeah, that's
Bosa, Musi Memani will also look at direct elections. How they would want to do that, I don't know. He claims on the Gareth Cliff show, when Gareth said, well, you were funded by the Oppenheimers. He said no one has ever told him what to do because of the funding. We'll see.
What else? I would vote for them because they would be in parliament and they are fighting for certain changes to the political system. It would help make system change mainstream.
Yeah.
That was it. Hope for SA, I am not so sure, Gerrit. I don't know if you want to elaborate on that.
So, yeah, the leader wearing the Israeli flag on his lapel was a problem. I went onto the YouTube channel today and saw where they were trying to punt a system where you would be monitored, tracked, and traced through data. And I thought, what on earth are they doing, punting this nonsense? And, if you look at their logo, I looked at the logo details I explained on their website. It's sad when you really have to explain your logo.
Forum for Service Delivery.
Yeah, so they explained the logo on their website, but it really it looks like a portion of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And that video that they made looked aligned to that. It's like they were coming up with a way for people to save data through the what did they say? The best service provider, and then say which one.
Okay.
That the SIM card would work through, and you would just work from your app and apply it. I went onto the website to see where the links are. There were no links. There were no links to the video either. So I don't know how they're trying to promote this, but it looks like a monitoring, tracking, and tracing app. And it just red
So
lights
curious,
went
no,
up.
I've never had a good feeling about that. I'm a person that goes on gut feeling.
And I'm not saying that the many people in Hope for
We've met wonderful people.
Hope for SA are bad people. That's not
No.
what I'm saying.
It's about the intentions
Yeah,
of
I don't
the
know.
decision
There's something strange.
Agreed.
Yeah, that I need to dig into. When that normally happens, and people might feel the same way about and might be digging and trying to find something.
Everyone's different.
Yeah.
Everyone's on their own journey. Everyone's free to be so. Siv asked about Israel versus Palestine. Well, I'm the leader of OM, and my perspective is that the formation of the state of Israel is a crime against the existence of Palestine. What you got is Britain, and you got Zionist groups deciding what to do with another country. The same thing is happening right now in South Africa with the Cape Secessionist movement. We must be very careful that we don't end up with another Israel here in South Africa. So
KwaZulu-Natal as well.
We're against global and Zionist control of other nations.
You'll find it very interesting that someone that's a self-proclaimed Zionist, Big Daddy Liberty, is advocating for Cape independence and KwaZulu-Natal independence.
Are you still with us, Siv? You might have left before I answered your question. There was another question I missed that was important, but it's going up so fast.
Yeah, well, it's really awesome that so many of you joined us, and thanks for all the likes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Sorry. Siv also asked earlier, are we only a Christian religion? Should someone who believes in another religion other than Christianity? Siv, no. We are
not a Christian.
We are not a Christian party. We are completely open to anyone. We have people of various faiths in our organization. It's just that
non-faith.
We have been getting the biggest criticism from Christians because we're not outright legislating Christian doctrine. It's driving me crazy.
It's never going to happen.
But I'm trying to show how OM aligns with Christianity.
The own values and principles.
And that's why I've been mentioning Christian things the past few live streams, because for some unknown reason, a lot of Christians don't understand the very Bible that they are reading. But anyway, that's a topic for another night. We'll be doing our Thursday night live streams soon again, and you can help people think straight about this. What do you think of what Anelemda, the independent candidate? Oh, the one that threw a tantrum on TV. I don't know. In the current system. What about a picture? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a picture was
in the current system, independents are disempowered. They can never have more than 50% of the votes. And how everything works within the current system, it has been set up against independents and new parties. It's a tragedy. That's why we are calling for complete system change at the constitution level, because it was also Zionists that had a hand in the formation of the constitution to keep South Africa completely under control.
The state before, even the African National Congress that died a pathetic death in 1930, the 1940 refounded ANC was Zionist formed, informed, funded everything. So if you look at when the Zionist state of Israel was created, and was created from the Zionist movement, and all the historic evidence is there, from the Balfour Agreement all the way through, okay? Then you will see it happen at the same time the apartheid legislation and government was formed. I can go into so much detail on the subversion that took place and how many people have been fooled into believing so many different things that they don't understand their own history. It's sad.
But also, you also have to look at who runs the economy of South Africa and which few names hold the power of all the major brands we purchase.
Then you'll see it right there. It's there in your face.
OM was founded out of understanding that global context, that no country is
I don't
free.
see any other party even slightly touching on that, the global threat to South Africa.
Yes, Alexander says politics and religion should never mix. Agreed. So
Absolutely.
the government, as far as the government should go here, is giving people the freedom to be any religion they want to. That's it. That's where it should end.
So, I mean, OMA has members from all religious
one of those
backgrounds.
grids, comparative grids, mentions God in their manifesto or constitution. We wouldn't impose that on other people because we believe in freedom.
Yeah.
That's so frustrating. That
And
people
next,
are,
believes in protection of life after freedom.
yeah, but
So you should have the freedom to kill someone and then face the consequences.
Yeah.
The DA will create a police state, a smart city system with cameras and mics everywhere, where you won't be able to turn around without being seen. Where killing someone won't be possible. And they will say, that is how we deal with it. You will lose all your freedoms. So some people will say, yes, please, I want to live in that system. I don't.
Freedom.
Go ahead.
Freedom from illness might look like eating cockroaches and no meat for the rest of your life.
What was that ice cream in Cape Town?
Shouldn't ask for the tester's consent. I'm still disturbed.
They must have been disturbed.
They
when
were
found
disturbed.
Out. Goodness gracious.
I wish I can find that video again. Yeah, thanks. Pristine and Megan get it. I'm a Christian and God's first priority is freedom, and the people can either choose to be saved or destroy themselves.
Absolutely. So, yes, go to the OM website and scroll to the bottom, and all the videos, the interviews have been loaded there, right?
So you know about OM.
So you can just go to om.org.za. Just, I'm not a politician, people. I'm a nuclear and power generation professional, so that's what I'm known for. However, the OM plan I'm very passionate about. So, I mean, I'm an activist like many other people for the OM plan, and I use my social media platforms to speak about that because the power generation issue is a crisis, and OM will actually support nuclear power generation, and there's many options for that.
That goes into what Quintessential Organics just said. I notice SA relies a lot on imports of some goods when we can easily provide our own.
We can build our own nuclear power stations,
That'll give us the energy required to kickstart a whole bunch of industries.
Not just that, the amount of jobs created, the industries created, the skills created that you send into the population. It will change everything.
I love that. Yes, wasn't that the last members thing we did, Andre? One thing that helped me open people's eyes was explaining a bit of what is happening after showing them just the short intro on the Wikipedia on the Dutch East India Company. It's a good analogy. Hi, Vaynant. Don't believe I've seen you. We're comment here before. That's adorable. You're very cute, Vaynant. How do you explain your Egypt Sun Beetle sign if you are not old Illuminati? Well, that's simple. Miriam Makeba was actually the inspiration behind that logo.
Yeah.
The click song. I won't even try. I won't even try to. Let me play this. Can I play the song, please?
Yeah, please.
On the eve of the most important elections in South African history. I love Miriam Makeba. She has such a beautiful heart.
But just telling the story of how the logo came about.
So, what does a princess do when she doesn't know what to do? She calls her dad. And that's what I did. I was like, Dad, I just started a party and we don't have a name.
To start a party.
And I don't have a name. I always say we. I'm speaking on behalf of me and who, all my multiple personalities. And he was like, oh God. And a search in Miriam Makeba playing at the Vanguard Club in New York. And then an article related to that was about her singing the click song, and then she goes into what the click song means. It gave me chills because she says in Xhosa tradition, the dung beetle represents firstly rain in times of drought, but also showing a better way in times of trouble. Goosebump moment. That was it. I knew this had to become our symbol. What I did not know was how close-minded and stupid South Africans are. Now I know. Here we go, the click song. Oh, and there's only a specific demographic that has a problem with the beetle.
Yeah, nobody else.
The way.
Yes, because they were indoctrinated by some idiot in some church somewhere.
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear that. Oh, It's beautiful. This can be our national anthem one day. Can you hear it, people?
Make it louder.
I can't.
There.
Oh, there.
Of course.
There we go. This song. Isn't it a cool song? It's beautiful.
And tell them about the sun.
Honestly, there was a gap. So I'll put a
Literally
circle.
a gap. So and the Lurirkerans for victory.
For democracy. What did the Greeks do? For those that won the Olympic Games, gave them a laurel. My name's Lauren. Laurel, get it? Democracy. The laurel was actually my little name inserted into the logo. That was like a little ode to me. You know, like how Nelson Mandela's ear has a bunny? That was an ode to the artist who created the sculpture. The laurel was an ode to my name. But anyway, Wynand is sy 'n voortrekker. Anyway, it's okay, people. People are on their own journey and they will hopefully wake up.
If you know, I want him to go to the Voortrekker Monument and look at Pieter Retief's water bottle, and he will see the sun logo there. Because Pieter Retief was a Mason. We are not Masons, people. We don't believe in secret societies.
I can't be.
Yes, you can't be a female. There are females.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm not attacking the Masons at all. But we're not from any secret society or anything like that. It is so innocent. And the logo, the colors of the logo came from a picture that Emma drew. Our oldest daughter.
She was like 8 at the time.
Yeah, that was superimposed on top of it. That is how it came about, like literally. Yeah, but it became such a... because people were so brainwashed. I warned Lauren at the time that all these NG Kerkians are going to freak out over this thing. Because I have seen the lectures where these people stand and they are experts in this and that. They don't ask you what your logo is about. That's why with Hope for SA, I looked at the meaning of the logo and I trusted that is what they mean. You know, there's even a cross in there 4. The 4 comes down and then there's a cross, which represents their Christian beliefs. They actually state what each color is for. The purple at the top, which symbolizes God and higher power, etc. So you need to go and look at what the people say the logo means, not go and make up your own thing. I mean, there's no sense in that whatsoever. At least you don't have to worry about it now. The tok-toki is now gone, so you can't worry about the tok-toki.
No, but Wynand's obviously very worried. But there are a plethora of parties.
It's good. It's fine to ask the question.
I have a couple of recommendations of who you can vote for, but I don't want to advertise them on our space. Mass fraud going on, lots of videos out. One guy stuffing a box full of ballots. Yeah, we need to verify when was the video taken, who's putting it out, what time did it happen, etc. Okay, cool. So Mama Africa, she was a big part of the inspiration of our symbology. I think she's amazing. Yes. Okay. I don't know how to. I can't share Boipelo. I don't know how to share it on here. Can you please WhatsApp me, and then I can WhatsApp you the pictures. There we go.
Is your picture on the ballot?
Yes.
Okay.
So we've actually, and Boipelo, please let me know which province you are on, because today we went and took a screenshot of both ballots and we highlighted where Ohm is. So we're more or less in the middle in some of them, and then with national we're a bit further down. On
the left-hand side column.
So we can send it to you if you WhatsApp me. If you don't have WhatsApp, just send me an SMS and I'll figure out how to get it to you.
Yeah, Wynand, I don't know if you're saying that we are sellouts or what the story is, really. But you have a right to your opinion. That's fine.
So I'm very excited about tomorrow. I don't know. Like, some people ask me, what do you think we're going to get? I really have no idea. I know we're going to get more than like 10 votes because more than 10 people have given me feedback that they voted for Ohm already.
Yeah.
So I don't know where it's going to go. I think, if it takes 50,000 votes to get a seat, one really has to think about how much that really is. We've done what we have been able to do up until this point. Our volunteers, our members, our supporters. Our social media team, me, my dearest husband next to me, we've all done what we could with the time allocated to us. We still had to eat and sleep in between. And now, tomorrow, no, I don't know when the results will be finalized, but we will be able to see where we are at as an organization. And what I'm most excited about is our growth up until this point, how much we've grown and matured as an organization. And it's only going from strength to strength from this moment onwards.
Yeah.
My biggest hope and prayer is that each person in this live stream that's been supporting us will make themselves available to assist in the work, because we need far more growth, far more organization, so that we can get to the mobilization phase as quickly as possible so that this country can be free.
Don, yes, that's the case with all of them. With the National Colored Congress, the one problem, of course, is that they're not exclusive, but their name focuses on a specific group of people that I have huge sympathy for because of the circumstances in the Western Cape, in the country, what's happened in the colonial past. And I believe Fadil and his organization, if you go to his website, it's not about him. It's about what they want to do. I really like that. Fadil is the real deal. It's legitimate. They have funding from the ground. They don't have a lot of social media followers. I don't care. To me, that vote is based on principle. Do you understand? I don't care if someone gets my single vote if I think that they are the best option. That is true democracy. And that is what people should do. That is what people should do. It's super important that we do that. And we don't have to agree with everything that someone says. People don't have to agree with everything that OM says or OM's plans in detail. Many of those things are going to be fleshed out in future. OM is coming with many things that are proposals, like the ballot is a proposal.
As well as the tax system.
Yes. There's many people that will get involved in planning things, because OM is not going to govern and tell people how to do things. OM is going to put a new system in place. Those people will then decide what happens in future.
That's why we want to see. It's 2121. It's 2121, people.
So there's going to be an upgrade of the constitution, an upgrade of the systems in the country. And upgrading things is super important. We need to upgrade things. We've been stagnant for how long? Our constitution was designed as a transitional constitution. That is how it was designed. And we were always supposed to upgrade it subsequently to a new system, even a new electoral system. It was always the plan. But it was so convenient, and so the Trojan horses built in was so powerful that the international cabal could use it to their, and I hate using that word, but people understand it, could use it, or triple X, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, Colleen and I understand exactly what is meant by that. Those people want control in our government, and they have control there at the moment. If you vote OM in to have a seat, there will be that voice against that. It'll be right there, and the mainstream media cannot ignore it anymore. I mean, they've literally told you they will not entertain OM. I mean, it's actually shocking.
Pretty much. Yeah. Our members emailed SABC, they replied.
Yeah.
Sorry, but our segment has come to a close conveniently. That was one of them. We have endless examples of SABC and other mainstream media and news outlets completely ignoring us. Beautifully, though, because I went to the most exceedingly boring, okay, you guys can go to bed if you want to. I'm going to waffle on a bit longer. I went to the most exceedingly boring IEC meeting. They've been going on every single day, by the way. I just have been bunking. And because I went, I got to meet Kaya FM journalist, and she interviewed me. So that either aired today or tomorrow. I'm not sure which one. But I think that's actually really, really cool that I got to meet another journalist of a fairly big station. And she really seemed to be happy about covering OM. So hopefully there'll be more opportunities like that. A lot of the smaller local stations that I've spoken to did express a desire for follow-ups. I hope that was sincere, because I'll be contacting all of them after the elections.
Lauren did mention supporting BOSA in the Eastern Cape.
Both in the Eastern Cape and Northern Cape?
Yeah, here's the
I can't
problem
remember.
that, yes, the problem is the funding.
I can't believe that
Bosa.
they will be truly independent.
Not when the Oppenheimers have given them millions.
And Don says Moosey, the smart city guy. I don't know much about his smart city proposals, but okay.
There's many concerns there. But they might actually, I mean, if Lauren, like when, if Ohm gets a seat in Parliament, or 2 seats or 3 seats, those people will work with people in other parties to convince them to change the system.
Mhm.
That work will start immediately, as Lauren said before. So you'll work with people, individuals in all parties. Ohm is not going to work with a party. We've
covered the strategy in depth. I mean, I wasn't going to go through the strategy tonight. This was a little like celebration for tomorrow, pre-celebration. But yeah, one thing that I see is interesting because like every day it's like lunch and then it's a meeting, just like Parliament. Lunch at 1, meeting at 2.
And Lauren, out of principle, don't eat.
I don't want to get into the habit. I don't want to get into the habit of eating.
She's starving when she's done there. It's hilarious, and she just wants food.
I mean, technically, I should eat. You pay tax, so it's eating our money. But at the same time, I don't want to get into the habit.
I pay a lot of tax.
You know what happens to all politicians? Not going to happen to me.
I pay a lot of tax.
It's
like almost 400,000 rand a year.
David, I also hope her editor agrees. So, Charles, they were the best option for 2 of the provinces. What can I do? It was difficult.
Looking at all the others.
It was difficult, but that's what it is. So, and then also we went to another IEC thing.
You can vote for whoever you want in that province. I mean, we can't tell people who to vote for.
Hazel, I so hope you're right. I mean, at the same time, I say, I don't know what's going to happen. I do have a hope that we get a seat. I really do. But looking at the past and maths.
Yeah, I just want to explain to everyone that Tony Leon spoke to Biz News the other day and is 100% correct. It costs about 20 million rand in campaign funds. 20 million in campaign funds per percentage vote. Okay, to get a percent. Now, to get a seat in Parliament, you need 0.25% of the vote, or just below, if you're part of the extras like Al-Jamar and PAC in the previous elections. So they got in with 31,000 and 32,000 votes. Things are going to be different this time with the calculation. So they're going to add the votes for national and regional together. So you're getting a doubling of the votes. But that also changes the ratio with regards to the total number of voters. And we don't know what that's going to look like with the multiplicity of parties, because in the past there were 40 odd parties, now there's 52. That's going to have a factor. So yeah, look at the Patriotic Alliance. In the last national elections, they got 6,660 something votes. And in the next local government elections, they got over 200,000 votes, a massive shift. So, yeah, I do believe Ohm's going to get a lot more votes than that. Well, I hope. If not, goodness, we're doing something wrong.
We have to rethink everything then.
We would have to rethink everything.
The important question on that note, what's your projection for Ohm seats in Parliament, path forward, if things don't go to plan? My prediction, can I really give a... No, I don't want to give a projection. I want to just put positive thoughts out there.
So technically, I calculated based on the 20 million per percent of the vote. Ohm should only, based on that, get 2,734 votes. That's not going to happen.
No.
Ohm is getting a lot more. So Ohm is getting a lot more bang for its campaign buck because the plan is that powerful. But it shows you how bad the DA's plan is, how bad the ANC's plan is, that they need to spend that much money to brainwash people into voting for them.
On that note, a reminder, in 2021, we got 7,000 votes in just 50 municipalities, and we only had 60,000 rand. So that takes that theory
out the window. Completely. I think it's more than 10 times what the other party spent. So it's not a theory. It is fact for DA and ANC. It is a fact, which means Ohm has broken that paradigm. They have obviously seen it, and they must be worried.
Zintle, hi and welcome.
Hi, welcome Zintle.
Um,
Welcome as a channel supporter.
I hope you. Last time we spoke, you just moved to Cape Town. I think it's been quite a while since then. But if you can pop into our voting station in Table View, then that'll be great. I'll put the address out on the group later.
Where?
Okay, David says, so Sif asked a question, and then David says, we don't even think about skin color in OM. That is true. We have a policy, and I really want all our members to adopt this policy, as hard as it might be for most people. We don't refer to people as color.
Not
we
at
really
all.
think that we need to transcend that mentality.
We have names, people.
So it's not just about not talking about color. It's about not seeing people's color first, if that makes any sense.
Jaretta, I hope you're right. I hope we all get a massive surprise tomorrow. We don't know. We don't know what a post-COVID election looks like, how people feel about freedom. There was zero mainstream media coverage except for Daily Maverick.
Miracles.
So the one article opinion piece that was put on News 24 was absolutely to attack OM. Was the only negative article that I have seen.
Yes.
Yeah, but they dropped it the day before the elections. So that is a huge accolade for OM, because these people are afraid of what OM is achieving. And I think they are shocked that so many social media groups OM got so many views. They didn't expect OM's interview to get 35,000 views on BizNews. They didn't expect for the OM interviews to outperform the other interviews on all the channels where the interviews took place.
It's been well received. The algorithms have been working in our favor. I don't know why.
So, but we don't know what that translates into.
Okay, so I also want to mention where we're going to be at tomorrow. And there was something else I wanted to mention before we leave.
Lynette, provincial vote. Close your eyes.
Mik en druk.
Mik en druk. Yeah.
Yes, Muffy, exactly. Who owns News?
Yeah, exactly, Muffy. Naspers, Koos Becker, and Clan. I've spoken about them at length.
Okay, so basically, I didn't finish my sentence earlier.
Sorry.
What comes after? No, it wasn't your fault. I think we all just got distracted. What comes after elections, if we don't win a seat, is we continue.
Listen to Marlene.
Continue to grow and organize.
Yeah.
Grow and organize better. Grow and organize better until we reach a point where all over South Africa we have the networks in place to get to mobilization phase to solve problems and change our government and liberate South Africa. Baynard, I did explain it. You can go watch the video again.
Yeah, there's actually a video about it.
Someone forgot to take their Prozac this morning. I don't know if that worked. Okay.
Yeah.
That's such a compliment. 1 of 44. I don't even particularly like you, but will agree enough to vote for you. That sounds awesome.
That's really awesome. And a lot of people, just remember, I'm not even a member of OM. I believe in the OM plan. I'm not even asking you to support Lauren. Support the plan, because the plan is about you. That's the beauty of it, that the people of the country need to implement that plan. And it's about empowering you first. To me, the beauty of the OM plan is, once again, and these are, to me, very important values, that you are the first form of government, then family, then community, then local, then national.
So Siv is saying, I hear you, but my issue is with whether you will be able to solve the problems of people of color, because they are the most disadvantaged in the country. 100%. It was one of the biggest pains in working for the city, when I worked for the city, is seeing the disparity between rich and poor, and seeing that there's no foreseeable solution in the current political system.
You can't fix it in the current political system.
Caring for the most vulnerable is a top priority of mine personally. And that's why I know we speak about our plans and everything that we want. We also say we don't want to be a welfare state, but we understand there's going to be a massive transitionary process. What I won't do is treat a person of color like a victim. And what I won't do is put things in place that will disempower an already disempowered portion of the population, which is what the current government is doing. It's all about
They're making
self-empowerment,
people dependent.
fostering self-esteem, and we can do all of that through dismantling the industrial and colonial systems that we have inherited that no one asked for. It's all part of what we want and who we are.
That's only Ohm that strives for irrelevance, as Megan says, openly. And the one important thing is, if you go and look at Ohm's, is it in the founding statement that you want to govern from the perspective of the most vulnerable?
Yeah, constitution. There's a preamble of the
It's in
Constitution.
the Constitution,
and
but
then
it's somewhere.
somewhere in there.
Govern from the perspective of the most vulnerable in society. You don't have to bring color into it. Most vulnerable are people that are old, children, people that are less able.
Or certainly economically disadvantaged because of apartheid legacies.
Absolutely.
One of those.
So there's many different reasons why you should help people. And communities and society should do that. If they don't, then only then should government intervene. So it is about people's action. And a lot of people will say, but this is pie in the sky. Well, people, if you look at the alternative, you're going to be shoved into a smart city or killed. That's the alternative. If we don't do something now, if the own plan does not succeed, that's going to be your two options. You're not going to be alive, or you're going to be shoved into a smart city. That's it.
Okay, so I actually have a whole bunch of work I still want to do tonight.
Mark.
So I still want to convince other people to vote for Ohm. So I'm going to have to say goodnight to everybody. We are very excited for tomorrow. And can't wait to... I'm going to be at the results center tomorrow night. I don't know how long.
In Cape Town.
Yeah. I don't know how long the voting counting is going to actually take.
Till Sunday, we'll have final results.
It's going to be the longest rest of the week of my entire life. I don't even want to think of numbers. I just want to get the results when it's there. Anyway, it's super exciting. Can't wait to see what's happening. We've definitely grown since 2021. So it's definitely, I'm sure, going to be more than 7,000 votes. Hopefully more than 7,001.
Yeah. But thanks for so many of you joining our live stream. To have over 300 people in, probably over 1,000 at the end, if we actually close the stream now and have a look. That's really, really awesome that so many people joined us. And let's see the pop-out dashboard.
Huh? I don't know you can do that.
Excellent. We've had 1,271 views.
That's a lot.
Yes, that's really awesome. Okay.
Thanks, everyone. Let's do everything to make sure we hold on to our freedom, including how we use our votes.
That's the most important thing now. Freedom. Liberty.
I prefer individual liberty as a phrase because freedom can sound unhinged.
You're right. And you can debate it hectically. Individual liberty, the right to make choices. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for all your efforts. I know how many people have worked so hard.
I forgot one thing. Where are we going to be? Can I just say where we're going to be? Guys, we are not as resourced as the other peoples.
With big corporate funding.
So we don't have a lot of voting stations. There are 20,000 voting stations in the country, more or less. We're not even at a percentage. Okay, so we're going to be in Cape Town. We are going to be in two places in like deep south, Noordhoek, Sunnyside.
Luella, we won't give up. We don't have an option. This is for our kids.
So if you want to stick around to where we'll be, because if you're in the area, you can come say hi and even volunteer. We're going to be in Sunnyside, Noordhoek, Glenkern, the church. We're going to be in Durbanville. I'm still seeing probably Cura Primary School. We're going to be in Helderberg. I actually don't know which one it is.
But if the people on the public Telegram,
yes,
then you can put the info
I'm
there.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Join Ohm's public Telegram, the Organic Humanity Movement, or just WhatsApp me, and I'll tell you where we are. We're going to be one station in Hammanskraal, one station in Mamelodi, a couple in Tshwane, one in Magale City, one in
Not
South
Sunnyside.
Coast,
What?
one Sunnyside, one in and Alkana in Boberg.
Mimosa and Victory School, come say hi.
Thank you, Marlene. And then if there's
you have an announcement with regards to the Eastern Cape too.
Yes, I do. Peoples.
Marlene, listen to this.
She knows. peoples
Does
of
she
the
know?
country. I know I messaged her at like 12 p.m. midnight last
Is
night
it?
because I couldn't contain. So I've scheduled a little bit of a break in my life after the elections, and it's my oldest son's birthday, and that's also my celebration of motherhood next week. And I'm such a dictator. My celebration of motherhood on my son's birthday. And then the week after that, during the week, is another little bit of a breaky break. But then on the weekend, because I assume people are more available, 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th. I don't know. I can't remember what time on the 17th, but I will be in between Port Elizabeth and Jeffreys Bay. So we want to make a public Port Elizabeth meeting and a public Jeffreys Bay meeting. And then I want to visit some of the areas just outside PE and just outside Jeffreys Bay and say hello to the people of that area and try to just get some OM activity and new OM membership. So those who are in that area, let me know, because I have not visited my hometown in this entire election campaign. So I wanted to secure it after the elections as my kickstart, because I'm going to be visiting all of you every once in a while. So I need to balance family life with political life. I want to visit absolutely every single metro and province on an ongoing basis. So I can't wait for that. Opopelo, unfortunately, we don't have any stands in the Northwest. We just didn't have enough people, sadly.
Yeah.
But we'll
But in
get
future,
there.
if there's people, then there will be.
Hi, Nozilo. Sorry, I need my glasses.
Noslilo.
Nozlilo, yes. Thank you so much. Love you too. Can't wait to see the results. And hopefully you'll also vote for us if you love us. And yes, Andrea, we are going to come to the Northern Cape as well. It's the smallest populated province. But we still want to make an impact there. And we believe we can, because I don't think the people in the Northern Cape feel very aligned with the top three parties, meaning there's a lot of room for us to show them that system change is the way. And I'm sure they'll get them on board with that, because Northern Cape and Garden Route to me seem like areas where people want freedom. And so we'll definitely be there. Vryheid, ek weet.
Lauren will be visiting all these places.
Starting with my hometown, yeah.
Yeah. So Lauren is starting with Port Elizabeth.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to arrange a meeting, let me know. Otherwise, I will work with our area activators to arrange something.
Yeah, Peter, I saw all the Freedom Front Plus
but
ads.
My time is yours in the Eastern Cape. I will be visiting East London separately with, we have an amazing area activator there, Sindiswa, and I'll be working with her when I go to East London, but I'm first starting with PE. So PE, JP, and surrounds, come back home, stay home for a little while, then I'll hop on to
We will come to Springbok.
We'll go everywhere.
We actually have property in the Northern Cape. We will be very much in contact with the people
Thanks,
in the Northern
Jane.
Cape.
I can't wait to visit. Jarita will be at the AGS Church Shelley Beach tomorrow. Thank you. Awesome. It's super exciting. Let me get some posts out there in social media to try gather the last votes for the Organic Humanity Movement. I still also need to sleep because I'm around all over the place. So I want to be driving around while I'm awake.
Well, people are... Well, I hope you're right. There's more than 20 candidates that can go to Parliament.
We have 22.
Yeah. So people only can get 5% of the vote. They have the candidates to actually feel that.
Let's pray for miracles, peoples.
Yeah. Good night, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good night.
Good night.
I guess next time we see you will be after the election sometime.
What?
It is interactive.
Yes.
And you're not having it on Thursday?
No.
It's not on Wednesday. It's not on Thursday. What's on Friday? It's on Friday.
It's going to have to be on Friday, yeah.
Yes.
So people, interactive will move to Friday, okay, for the interactive members.
Yeah.
Yeah, because things didn't work out the way we had planned.
No.
Lauren's going to be driving around like a... All the
I have actually ignored so many of the IEC emails and not attended so many of their meetings because we just don't have the manpower. You need a separate organization in your organization just to deal with the IEC, which we'll have to put in place after these elections. It's part of improving our organization. Thank you, everybody. Have fun tomorrow in the queues.
Enjoy,
Remember,
everyone.
while you're standing in the queue as a voter, you can obviously talk about Ohm to the people around you.
Yes, if they're not
Maybe
sure.
have some pamphlets in your pockets. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or have some infographics on your phone because you can always WhatsApp them our stuff.
Night, everyone.
Good night.
Thanks so much. Bye.